Y'all, so Puerto Rico. So every January we go to Puerto Rico. That's like our thing now that we do. So I was officially 3 months on the day that we arrived in Puerto Rico. So at that time in Puerto Rico, let's see, before I left for vacation, the day of, I was 252.1 pounds. And when I came back on Sunday, I weighed 251.6 pounds. So I did not gain at all. I ate whatever I wanted. I drank alcohol. And this I talked to my doctor about. He approved me. He just said, make sure I'm trying to get my protein in and trying to get my water in. But yeah, he said, you're cleared, you're fine, you should be fine. He had no worries. And I was like, you know, and I asked him a bunch of questions. My nurse had provided me with packets of Unjury protein powders to pack along, and I did pack them, but I did not use them. When I got to Puerto Rico, we went to a convenience store next to our Airbnb, and like we're familiar with the area now, so now we just go and we feel comfortable just walking around like we're from there. And I am half Puerto Rican. I just cannot speak any Spanish now that I'm older. But we would go to the pharmacy or the little markets, and they did have a lot of options for protein shakes. I wish I documented better while there, but I wasn't thinking about IG the way that I think about it now and capturing like my experience. But they did have protein shakes. I just can't think of what the brand was. I think it was like Ensure, and the sugars were okay, and the fats and everything lined up as far as what it needed to be. I grabbed a couple of the protein shakes and then some yogurts, and we put them in the fridge at the Airbnb. And honestly, and that's probably why, because I didn't know about this whole carb thing, I didn't meet my dietitian until March. When did I meet my dietitian? April? Yeah, so I didn't meet her until I was almost like 4.5 months out. So like I wasn't doing quite what I should have been doing. So I wasn't eating carbs like that. So I'd be tired, and also I wasn't getting all my water in, and I was drinking, so the dehydration, I was tired. But all my adventures, everything was wonderful. I could walk. I did a tour, and the tour was over an hour long, walking through the streets of old San Juan, and that's up hills and down the cobblestone streets. So that was something I could have never did last year when we went. Never. I could have never did that. So that was it was just wonderful. I wasn't hot. I was outside with sleeveless shirts with my arm out, you know. At nighttime when we went to La Placita, it was wonderful to be dressed up in a dress and feeling sexy and having fun. It was really like, yeah, like, wow, my life has changed. The quality of my life is better. The weight was holding me back, and I did not realize it. So drinking with the liquor, I had tried right before we had left for vacation, and I've always been able to handle my liquor pretty well. I get drunk quick. I've always gotten drunk quick, but I've always been able to handle liquor like a lot. So when we go to La Placita, it would be my husband pre-games. I did not pre-game because I know that when I tested it out, I get sober very quick. So I didn't want to be pre-gaming, then get to La Placita and be sober and be like, nah, fuck this, I'm over this shit already. So that was, how many hours? We'd get there at like 11 or midnight. I'm so sorry. We'd get there at like 11 p.m. or midnight, some shit, because his husband would be ready to go, you know? And then we were out until like 5 a.m. and I drank the entire time. And when you're in that kind of environment, it's different because you're like on the go, you're seeing things, you're constantly, yeah. So before I left, I realized that I wouldn't be able to order juices. I needed it to be watered down because I did not want to like have dumping, because the juice had too much sugar in it. So I learned in Spanish how to order. So mitad means half. So I would ask the bartender, I said, mitad Don Q Cristal, so the silver rum, Don Q rum. And then I'd say, y mitad cranberry juice. And so mitad mitad, half and half. So I want the Don Q, half of the Don Q, but then, oh no, that's what it was. Let me rewind all that. I would say mitad agua y mitad cranberry juice y Don Q cristal. So half water and half cranberry juice and the Don Q cristal. And they understood it perfectly. And they looked at me kind of like, and I said, and they would repeat it. I said, yeah, mitad agua, like a poquito, like poquito cranberry juice, like to let them know, like just a little of the cranberry juice, water it down. So that was interesting. And it worked. I got super lit. I had a lot of fun. I was not out of control. I remember everything. I actually lasted longer than my husband. Like my husband was, before we went to go eat dinner, 5 a.m. in the morning, go eat hungover food, you know, he was throwing up in the trash can. And I was laughing. I was recording laughing at him because I was like, what? I got a little baby stomach and I'm lasting longer than you type shit. So it was an awesome time. And the food that I ate was regular Puerto Rican food. The only thing that I kind of didn't feel that good, the same thing with the chicken thighs, was the chuletas de cerdo, which is the pork chops. I think it was a little too fatty, because after that it was walking to get to the Uber driver, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll feel better just walking it off type thing, would like help with digestion. And when I got back to the Airbnb, I was like, let me just throw this up, because I just don't feel that great. And I threw it up. So, but I ate a little bit of the rice and beans, and I would try to eat all my meat, a couple bites of the meat, you know. So I had that. I had an appetizer platter of, it was like fried salami, fried sausage, the fried cheese, fried plantain, nachos with chicken. I had a chicken quesadilla while there in another place. And all that was fine. Mind you, a couple bites, literally a couple bites, like barely a nacho and a half, and then a couple bites of the a sausage, and I tried the fried cheese type thing, and the quesadilla, a couple bites of that by myself. So it wasn't a lot. What else did I try? And then when our favorite place, we like to go to Los Pinos in Santurce. That has the wonderful, is that no, Miramar. And that has the best carne frita, and it's fried pork. And that I had no issues though. That I had no issues at all. And I think the pieces weren't fatty when they make it in Puerto Rico. When I get it here in Maryland, it's like just huge chunks of like pork skin, and it's gross. So I don't get it here. But Puerto Rico, yeah, no issues. Rice and beans. I lived my best life. I walked a lot. I had some of the fruit that they had there. Was the star fruit, carambola. I don't know how to say that one, but it's the Puerto Rican star fruit. I ate that when we were out at the El Campo. And then also they showed us how they made the illegal moonshine, Pitoro. So I probably had, and it's supposed to be like the strongest, because you know moonshine's super strong. I never think moonshine is that strong, but he gave us 3 shots of Pitoro during that tour. So I had fun. I tried to drink my water. We had a blast. It did not hold me back from vacation. So that was a wonderful experience. I'm very, very thankful for that. So yeah, that was Puerto Rico in a nutshell. I'm gonna insert obviously all the pictures, you see them popped up, but yeah, that was wonderful. And it was wonderful to come back from vacation feeling like I lived my best life and not gain at all. I was like, this tool is amazing. But mind you, I was doing a lot of activity because everywhere I was like walking to get the things. So, but I didn't gain at all. It was a great time.